This is something we just never do together, is it, Lacey? Drink wine?
Never have we ever drank wine together.
Never.
Yep.
Wine chats.
Wine chats. Everybody loves all good
I
wine
chat better when I'm on wine.
Yeah. Don't we all?
No. On wine.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers being on wine.
Cheers being on wine.
Today we are drinking the Net. This is my favorite wine. I don't remember how I found it, but I did. And I do buy it by the case. Do not judge me. But they just don't sell it by the bottle, so I got to buy it by the case. I'll stick to that story. But they're not a sponsor, but if they want to be, I will happily accept.
Free Net.
Reach out. Lacey Schmidt, L. Schmidt at oaklogHome.com.
This is fun.
Yeah.
Get together and just talk about work and drink some wine, and we never get a chance to do this, do we?
We really don't. We really don't. People think that we get to talk all the time, especially just like a casual conversation, and we actually barely get to.
Yeah, I know.
It's whether it's kids, my kiddos, we're talking about, or life, or just like very specific work stuff, not casual.
Yes. My husband always asks me, he says, well, did you talk to Lacey about the boys, about what they're doing? And I'm like, no, do you understand? We never talk about personal stuff at work. We talk business all the time.
Yeah. Well, we especially don't drink wine.
No.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
While talking about work. But this is going to be...
This could be our new favorite thing.
I'm fine with that. I'm good with that.
We have a long history of drinking wine together.
Mm-hmm. We sure do. You introduced me to it, so you're responsible.
Uh-oh. Is that I am known for late at night, we're sitting drinking wine, and I can fall asleep with a glass of wine in my hand and never spill a drop.
This is an amazing hidden talent that Lynn Gastineau has. She can fall asleep with a glass of wine just like this in her hand and won't, like, for a long time and not spill it.
Yeah, like an hour.
Like a party trick that I pull out with my friends. I'm like, guys, just watch, just wait for it. It's coming. And never
I'm like a trained seal. Like a trained seal. I just do it like a man.
It is an incredible hidden talent.
Yeah.
That only a few special people get to witness, but
yeah, but that is a hidden talent of mine that few people, now I guess a lot of people are going to know now. No, I don't know if I should be real proud of that or not.
Secret's out. No, it's impressive. It's impressive. I would not be ashamed of it. You're good.
Yeah. Well, wine has a tendency to make me sleepy.
So before we get sleepy, what are we going to discuss today? What are we going to talk about?
I think we should talk about something that people call us up and ask us all the time. And I think it deserves a good discussion. And that is that people will call and say, we're thinking about building either a log home or a barndominium. And I think that they need to know the pros and cons of both and think about it, because to me, it's very, very different. And and so it's kind of strange to me that people actually are thinking one or the other. Right. But I think that we definitely should have a discussion about that.
Yeah, I agree. I have always been a bit confused by it also, because I don't see them as in the same bucket. And so but it does seem like it's kind of, that's the two that they're looking at. And maybe it's just anything outside of your quote unquote traditional stick frame.
Well, part of it could be that they're both considered rural. Both of them are something you don't necessarily put in a subdivision.
That's true.
So maybe because they're out in the country, that could be the similarity. But
that's a good point.
But aesthetically, they're like nothing.
Not
nothing
at all the
alike.
same. Yeah.
And from a construction standpoint, they're nothing alike.
Right.
They're not, that's the only thing I've been able to come up with is they're both kind of rural housing.
Yeah. And I will be like honest and upfront about this. I have a hard time. I mean, I do see some really nice things about a barndominium, quote unquote. When we say that, we're talking about a house with sheet metal roof and siding. So they can be pretty. You can do some white with black trim, which is very trendy. You can have some open spaces, but personally, I'm just not a fan. So I'm always trying to keep an open mind, but I will, up front say that I'm just not a huge fan of them in general. So I'm kind of excited just to talk through that to see it kind of, go back and forth on pros and cons. And
one thing I think a lot of people don't really understand is how a barndominium is built. The traditional, typical barndominium is a post frame building where they're putting posts in the ground every 8 foot, 10 foot, 12 foot, whatever. And then those posts are the structure. That is actually what structurally is holding up the roof.
Yep.
And then you have to infill around it with framing lumber to be able to insulate it and to hold up your exterior siding and your insulation and your interior siding. People get a quote for having the shell put up, I think barndominium, and it looks really inexpensive. But what they don't realize is all the cost it's going to take to finish it out.
yeah,
When you build the wall of the barndominium and you have the outside sheeting on, the outside metal on, you're still so much money to be spent on the inside to finish it. And they're surprised when they get into doing it as to how much more that costs.
Right. You only have like a fraction of the whole wall completed at that point.
Yeah.
Explain the difference between like a post and beam home and what you just described as far as a barndominium.
Oh, that's very similar. I mean, a post and beam home, the difference is that the post and beam home, your posts and beams are exposed. In a barndominium, they're enclosed.
They're not.
Those structural posts are enclosed inside of the wall.
Got it.
So that's the biggest difference.
There could be a combination of the two, right? Maybe?
Yeah, you could. You could do a post and beam house and put metal siding on the outside of it. That's where one of the cost savings is on a barndominium is that the exterior siding is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's not very expensive.
Right.
And that's one of the ways that there's a savings. The other thing is a barndominium is every time I've ever seen one, they have always been on a slab.
Probably because the construction method used to build them, right?
Yeah, I've never seen one on a basement. I've never seen one on a crawl space. I've always seen them on a slab. And some building lots are not conducive to just building on a slab. But getting into the aesthetics, I think that, I'm thinking about when I drive home from work and I pull in my driveway and I pull in, and especially if I'm, working and you're coming home and you want to relax at home, coming home to a great big metal building as opposed to coming home to a log home is a huge difference in the feeling that it gives you.
What that invokes in me, I see my visions of is of Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
You pull in and you have this beautiful log home, right? That's where they live. They also have a very beautiful barn, right? That's where their animals live. It's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but it's not. They're not the same, And I'm with you. Like I see the utilitarian part of a barndominium also, especially when you connect the home with like lean-tos to store tractors and that sort of thing. And I understand the benefit to that for sure. But I completely agree. Just to the feeling of pulling up to a metal, big old metal barn, home is not the same as pulled up to a log home.
Yeah,
that's also why it's so confusing as to why people put them in the same bucket. It's just they're not the same.
Having that style of a home, if you're looking for something that has that kind of an exterior design, doing it with something other than metal. We've done like post and beam houses that have that same kind of a look and feel to them, but they are done with like a board and batten siding on the outside, or even a log siding on the outside, or something like that. Gives it a totally different feel. Totally different than metal.
Right.
And the other thing that concerns me about barndominiums is it's been a fad now for about 5 years or something. It's been kind of a fad. I don't see it as continuing, but my concern is the resale value.
Yep.
People build them because they think they're going to be less expensive, and then they spend a lot of money on them. Then you put them up for resale. People are going to think they should be cheap,
right?
Because they think they're cheap to build. So I mean, I've seen articles from realtor magazines and realtor websites, and where they're saying that there are major concerns about the resale value of these.
There's just no historical data to prove.
Well, and there's a limited market. I mean, limited amount of people that they
want that.
This research shows that a log home is the number one dream home in the United States. That's been studies that have shown that over 25 years. It continues to be the number one dream home, and so you don't have that built-in market of people wanting a barndominium.
Yeah. I'm trying here.
Yeah, I mean, we even have a plan that is similar to a barndominium, that is done with has the same kind of design in our standard plans, that has that kind of same kind of look and feel, but with big timber trusses. And the one design aspect I like about the barndominiums is that they can do some really big open great room spaces.
Right.
Because structurally, that's just the type of construction it typically is. They're doing a full 2-story, and so they can do some big great rooms.
Right. Big tall ceilings, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are really nice for sure.
Yeah. The negative I've heard about those is some of the feeling inside, and of course I'm sure it differs according to how people finish out the inside, but that is that there's a lot of echo. The sound, the sound inside of those great big rooms is difficult to control, especially with a concrete slab floor.
Yeah.
And if people put LVL flooring down, they get that clacky sound when they walk on it, and it can have echoes and vibrations and not be feeling really homey.
Warm, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So you've got the market value, the resale value, kind of unknown, the feel when you're gonna kind of pull up to that home. What else do you think about?
The thing we hear from people that lived in log homes is that it's just the feeling you get when you walk inside. Yeah. And that feeling is not something that you're imagining. It is something that's real, and it's been proven in scientific studies. Biophilic design, if you research that, the wood wellness effect, it's been proven that like having wood on the interior of your home reduces stress, reduces blood pressure, creates a feeling of well-being. It is a scientifically proven fact that being surrounded by natural materials is good for our body, our body, mind, and soul.
Right. We're all energy, right? Everything's made of energy. Natural products have energy in them, and that's what we are drawn to. That's what the humans, that's what makes us feel good. Anything that is not naturally made doesn't have that energy. It's not real, right? It's not natural. And so I grew up in a log home, lived there until I was 18, didn't know any different. So it wasn't, but leaving there, I don't live in a log home right now because when we moved back from Texas, we bought an existing home. I do get that question all the time. I wish that I did. Yeah, I wish that I did. Because I absolutely know the difference between the two, and there's nothing better than living in surrounding yourself in natural material. And again, it doesn't have to be wood everywhere, but generally speaking, wrapping yourself the envelope of the house in full log there's nothing like it. There really isn't.
Well, I think if they haven't thought about it before, think about walking on LVL flooring and walking on real hardwood flooring.
Yeah.
And you can feel the difference.
Right.
Yeah, you really can feel the difference in your legs, you
Right.
know. And it extends all the way through the house.
Right.
Some of the pros of doing a barndominium is probably the fact that there's very little maintenance. I mean, you know, on your exterior, you know, that is a pro
Yeah,
to it.
absolutely. Just give it a bath every now and
Yeah.
then. And
You know, at the same time, it's a big, you know, your exterior siding is a big investment, and you're going to be stuck. It's not something you're going to replace, or, you know, it's something you're going to have for a long, long time. So you better be sure that metal is what you want on the outside of your house for the
Right.
duration of while you're living there. You
right.
know?
Right. Yeah. So the plan that you were talking about earlier that we have that's similar to a barndominium, that's the Dutton that you're speaking of, right? Yep.
Yes.
One of our new plans.
Yeah, and we had that name before the TV series came out.
Did we? Yeah. Cheers. Cheers to that. Either way,
We don't
it's
want to
an
get
amazing
Yeah,
plan.
we don't want to get accused of any, you know, plagiarism
yeah.
there. Yes, it is an amazing plan. I really like it. It's
Yeah.
very cool.
I love that it's just it's just different. It's unique. It's different than what we've done. I love that we are branching into this kind of new arena, just something different. We have done traditional log homes, and we've done even modern log homes for a really long time, and we've done some gorgeous homes. We've done a bunch of traditional, you know, 4-corner couple dormers, log homes. We've done so many of all of those. I love that we're now getting into just something different, you know, and because we are, you know, we have the capability to do it all, and I think it's just so fun to just kind of broaden those horizons.
Yeah. Yeah. And taking what we excel in, which is in the design and engineering, and then manufacturing these unique products and delivering them any place in the United States
Yeah.
to wherever anybody wants to build,
Right.
you know, for things that they could not get locally. Particularly, you know, we're using oak beams and things that are known for their strength and durability and longevity.
Beauty.
And nobody else does that
Yep.
like we do. Capitalizing on that for people, giving them the ability to have a home designed that they know is going to be properly designed and properly engineered. And then all the building material is going to be delivered directly to their job site, so they don't have to worry about sourcing it from where, no matter where out in the boondocks they're building. And you know, that's a real option for people, no matter what size or style of home they want to build.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if they want to incorporate natural wood products into their home, on the interior, you know, we do traditional stick homes like our hybrids, where they've got exposed beam second story floor systems, they've got exposed beam trusses, they've got all wooden staircases, you know, all these different components to it,
Right.
in more of a traditional home.
Right.
So,
But also brings in those the natural warmth and the energy and the comfort that comes with those with having log surrounding you, but not enveloping you with like a log home. But so it just gives people options, and I think you have done such a great job of, in the log home, specifically the log home industry. This is a chance for us to just kind of think outside the box, you know, and just show, like you said, show people what else we can do. And yeah, I'm very excited. I think the creativity behind the Dutton, just showing that there's so many options out there. I love it.
yeah. And the other thing we really like is windows. And I know I remember years ago, I've averaged out, I think our average middle-sized house had 17 windows in it, and I looked at the average stick frame home, and it had like 7 windows. I mean, we always design with a lot of big windows, because if you're going to build out in Mother Nature, you need to enjoy Mother Nature.
Right.
You need to be able to see her.
Yeah.
So I think
As much as your house is your home, is your protection is your safety, you want to look at what's going on around you, right? So so open it up, put some glass in there, check it all out.
Yes.
Night and day.
Love big windows, love big porches. That's the other thing that Dutton has. It's got a huge, big wraparound porch, which is to me, it really sets off the design and the livability of the house.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that porch is done with exposed beam roof system, so that you're sitting out on the porch, you've got all these big beams above you. And
Right. For me, I think that if somebody's looking at a barndominium, if somebody's also looking at a log home and can't decide, there are a lot of different reasons why you could go one way or the other, and there are a lot of arguments as to why one way is better than the other. But if you just decide that a log home isn't ideal, then next best thing I think is to marry the two. So barndominium. We can do, like the Dutton, we can do a lot of different, it's stick frame home, but we can do a lot of different exterior siding options. So you've got your metal, you can put some stone in there, you can put some log siding in there. On the interior, you could do the same thing, right? You can do a lot of log siding on the interior, as much or as little as you want. You could do some stone on the inside even. I mean, really, it's
Shiplap.
really whatever, right? It's
all
just
the
whatever.
shiplap products we make and all the different wood species and
Yeah.
you know, and you know, we've got cypress, we've got oak, we've got pine, we've got cedar, we've got all different kinds of interior woods that you can use to
Right.
again be able to get that wood effect and be able
Right.
to, you know, it doesn't have to be solid log in order for you to benefit from that. If you have the more wood you have on the inside, you're going to get that feeling when you walk in the door that's going to nurture you and make you have a healthier lifestyle.
What's the word again?
It is, I have trouble pronouncing it. It is biophilic design,
Biophilic.
which is a proven scientific fact. I
Yes.
mean, it's been proven and it just demonstrates what people have said to me
Yes.
over and over and over.
Right.
You know, there's just the feeling when you walk inside of a log home, the
Right.
feeling it gives you. And that's one of the number one reasons why people want to build a log home.
Everything from our homeowners to our customers, or our potential customers that walk in the door, they say the same, overwhelmingly say the same thing. It's
Yeah.
just warm. And all my friends say that. You said that growing up.
Yeah.
All my friends, like, your house is just so cozy and warm. And I'm like, okay, I don't know anything different. That's what I grew up in. That's literally came home to
Yeah.
from the hospital in a log home, lived there until I went to college. And
Yeah.
I was in a cinder block house, or
Yeah.
dorm.
Yes,
It was
yes.
quite
People
the
were very
awakening.
impressed when you went to college and you said you lived
Yeah.
in a log home your whole life. They thought it was super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sure did. And I was like, okay. But I also was
Yeah.
like, this cinder block is for the birds.
Yeah. Well, and even I remember you having friends over. I particularly remember one young man who his house his home was very, very formal. And he sat down. He walked in the living room, sat down, was talking to me, and he put his feet up on the coffee table. And all of a sudden, he realized what he'd done. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, that's okay. I said, our house is to be lived in. I don't want to, you know. And he's like, he said, my mom, if I put my feet up on the coffee table, she would have a fit, you know. And I was like, no, that's not our house. It's to be lived. He said, just feel so comfortable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's what I want.
It still is.
That's how I wanted to raise what environment I wanted to raise my children in. The environment I want my family to come
Your
home
grandkids
to,
to
my
come
grandkids to
to.
come home to,
Yep.
and
Yep.
yeah, there's nothing like it.
So I guess to kind of wrap again, we've got opinions on, one way or the other, but
Us have opinions.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But if you can't decide, there are options. At the end of the day, there are options, and we can help you with both of those options, right? I mean, we are happy to help, kind of to weigh those pros and cons for your situation, for your life, for your future, for your family, for your property, the ground you're building on. All of those things come into play as far as making decisions like that. So, we can help with that. And if you decide to go a barndominium route, a Dutton route, or a similar route, we got you.
Yeah, we like to help you. If nothing else, give you some advice. We have the Gastineau Guide, which is a book that's available on our website that you can download for free. If you want to go in there, that tells you how to plan your house, whether it's from picking your land to finding a builder, to dealing with the appraisals, financing, all these kinds of things, and all the different steps you have to take to get ready to build. Doesn't matter whether you're building a barndo or a log home, that information is the same. So invite people to go on the website and download the book. It's a free PDF. And just let us know if there's any way we can help you. If you go onto our website, go under the rendering sections, you can see the Dutton. Mm-hmm. So if people would like to see the floor plan,
yep,
and look at it, and
that is www.oakloghome.com. Mm-hmm. Under the rendering section, you said. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. Shameless plug. Whoop, whoop.
Well, Lacey, I think that I hope that's given people some thoughts if they're thinking about building a barndo versus a log home, some things to consider. I invite them if they'd like to continue the conversation. Just give us a call, and happy to talk to them about it.
That's right,
and hear their thoughts.
Right.
The cot is if you're driving home at night and from work or driving or from church or from anywhere, you drive down the driveway. What is it you want to see when you at the end of your driveway?
What do you want to feel?
What do you want to feel?
What do you want to feel when you drive down your driveway?
Yep.
We're here to help make that feeling happen.
Mm-hmm.